Hi guys, it's Todd from P2P Coaching. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to apply accommodating resistance to a move called the skin the cat. The skin the cat is a great way to load your shoulders with the arm behind the body, so we're developing mobility in extension. It's going to feed towards your back levers because it's going to help teach you where your hips are when your body is upside down, and it's also a great way to develop range of motion in the shoulder. So I'm going to show you two variations. The first is the traditional version for the skin the cat. The second is going to be applying what I call accommodating resistance to the skin the cat, so you can make each portion of the repetition maximally demanding for your current levels of strength. So the first version of a skin the cat looks like this. So we're going to grab our rings or our bar. If we want to use momentum to take our hips through our hands, that's absolutely fine. We're going to let our legs sink as low down as our mobility will allow us, and we're going to try and actively pull our body weight through the rings to reverse that movement. So we can start with taking our shoulders away from our ears. If we want to, we kick round, and from this position we're going to let our legs drop so that we are loading our body weight towards end ranges of extension. Pause for a second or two, and then from here we're going to pull hard through our hands to try and lift our hips, and from this position we can keep our legs as close to our chest as possible as we come back round. Now I like to try and push my head through my hands, and that way I'm developing not just mobility in extension with the hand behind the body, but by pushing my head through my hands and keeping my ribs locked down, I'm also developing overhead mobility as well. So that would be one repetition of a traditional skin the cat. I'm now going to show you how to apply accommodating resistance to make each portion of the movement as difficult as possible. This is going to be highly dependent on your strength levels, but effectively we're playing about with the levers in this movement. So what you're going to see me do in this variation of the movement is I'm going to start in the movement with a kind of arching pull-up. So the start of the movement, I'm going to start with my arms straight. I'm going to round my back as much as my strength will allow. And from this position, I'm then going to shoot my feet up and then play about with where my legs are in time and space to increase the difficulty of the exercise. Now, let me show you what that might look like. So from this position, I'm going to suck my shoulders into my back pockets. I'm going to pull hard against the rings while arching back. From this position, then I'm going to lift my legs up. I can then go into a half tuck, or if that's too difficult, I can go into a full tuck. So whichever position is appropriate for my strength, I'm then going to lower down, pulling my hands towards my hips as much as I can, and then when I start to struggle, I'm going to modify that position to make it easier, so bringing my knees closer to my chest, lower down into the full skin the cat, and then as I pull my hands towards my hips, I can modify this foot position. So knees closer to chest is easier, legs further away and chest up is harder. So I'm pulling my hands towards my hips, and I'm going to try and keep this straight body position for as long as possible. When I struggle, I'll go into the half tuck. I'm going to control this as much as possible, and as I start to lower down and struggle, I bring my knees to my chest and push my head through my hands to finish the movement. So what I've done there is I have manipulated my body levers to make the exercise harder at different portions of the movement. So obviously the full lever, so a full straightened body position, is going to be hardest. Obviously the half tuck, or what's called a half lay in gymnastics, is going to be slightly easier than that, but still quite difficult. Obviously the full tuck is where I would start if this is the first time I've played around with this variation. So by manipulating your body position between the full lever, the half lay or the half tuck, and the full tuck at different portions in the movement, you're going to change the strength requirements at each part. And by manipulating your position, you can make sure that each portion of the rep is maximal depending on your level of strength. Now, you would see progression in this exercise because, for example, if you were filming it, then in, for example, week 1 versus week 4, you're able to hold the harder positions for longer as the weeks progress. So that is the traditional version of the skin the cat and the accommodating resistance version of the skin the cat. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments, then be sure to leave them below or get in touch with me via your preferred social media channel.